Hi, this is RX-77. This time we are going to look at the Guncannon. Guncannon RX-77-2 is an unexpected success that the Earth Federation would come back from time to time. Despite some recent portrayals, Guncannon by and large is considered to be the second best Federation mobile suit in the one-year war, right after Gundam, which includes RX-78s, RX-79s, and some other specialist GM upgrade to match the performance of Gundams, but as a standard base model, RX-77-2 is the second best. While RX-78 is often being portrayed as the first mobile suit developed by the Federation, most of the technologies are tested out with the Guncannon and its trial model, RX-76, which we will talk about in detail when we have one in hand. Just bear in mind that RX-76 didn't do too well against Zeon mobile suits like Zakuwan and their predecessors in some low-intensity conflicts, leading to Federation not adopting RX-76 in the Battle of Loom. However, after the Federation was slaughtered in the Battle of Loom, the Federation decided to take a good look at these mobile suit things again. Thus, Operation V was initiated. Operation V aims for Federation to deploy, fight, and produce mobile suits in the war against Zeon. RX project is where the design of this mobile suit would be developed. The RX project incorporated previous Federation development of mobile suits, and those mobile suits would be revised to meet the RX project standard. These previous projects are redesignated as follows: R75 the gun tank, R76 the ball, and RX-77 the Guncannon. The main difference between RX-76 and RX-77 Guncannon are the inclusion of core fighter and core block system. The core fighter serves as cockpit, escape pod, and main generator for the RX-77. Core fighter also shares its main computer with the RX-77, an optical computer with a machine learning AI. This allows Guncannon to optimize its control software, adapt to different battle environments, and most importantly, tailor itself to the pilot style automatically through just piloting the mobile suit, or do simulations, but those are generally less effective. Core block system enables the core fighter to dock inside RX-77 Guncannon and connect to other systems of the mobile suit with minimal external help like an USB port. In general, mobile suits with core block system are split into two parts, A part from the waist up and B part from the waist down, with the docking space for core fighter located in the cavity of the A part. This also means if either part of the mobile suits are damaged, you can replace them quickly in the hangar or with other field engineering machineries very quickly, especially if you're talking about damage to the torso. RX-77-2, what we have here, is considered to be the base model of all Guncannon variants in one-year war. Guncannon is classified as a medium-range support mobile suit, ideally with RX-78s forming a front line, and Guncannons would support them with its beam rifle for direct fire and shoulder weapon for indirect fire, or more direct fire in space. However, while mobile suit combat is very similar to infantry combat, mobile suit also moves much faster than infantry would, so this ideal support firebase is rarely realized, save for a few big battles at the very end of the one-year war. However, Guncannon is surprisingly effective despite not being used in its designated role. It is rather ironic because one of the reasons that the original RX-76 did so badly against Zeon's mobile suit is because it was developed with the assumption that mobile suits are bipedal tanks instead of multi-limb space jets like Zaku's. But most of this flip on its head as Zeon begin to invade Earth. On Earth, with gravity pulling everything down to the ground, and air resistance stopping everything without aerodynamic designs from flying quickly, Zeon's mobile suit lose most of their mobility advantage that they had in space. On the other hand, the Guncannon, developed as a bipedal tank, has the home field advantage. Another reason as to why RCX-76 did so badly against Xeon mobile suits are Xeon have been developing mobile suit software and tactics for nearly a decade before they unleashed them. Meanwhile, RX-76 was a testbed to try to figure out both. However, after the software was quickly developed with the help of machine learning AI on board of RX-77-2 and pilots developed anti-mobile suit tactics with their lives on the line, the Guncannon's outstanding specifications allow it to be very effective in space as well. Being designated as a bipedal tank, Guncannon does have superior armor to most Xeon and Federation mobile suits alike. Most sources list Guncannon's armor is made out of lunar titanium, or later known as Gundamium alpha. Others suggested that it is a composite armor mainly made out of titanium ceramic, which would later be further developed as titanium ceramic composite. We may dive into this in another video, but either way, Guncannon's armor is only second to Gundam while still lighter than a Zaku 2, making the Guncannon a lot faster than its double C thick looks suggest in space. On the ground, while Guncannon needs to walk like most mobile suits, its shoulder weapons are capable of indirect fire. This means against most Xeon mobile suits, Guncannon would have an advantage in both range and cover. Guncannon has two shoulder weapon hardpoints. They are usually equipped with the 240mm cannon here, feed from the chest. There are other options, but we will look at those with them in hand. The 240mm cannon is usually loaded with HE shells, with muzzle velocity fast enough to hit Xeon supersonic jets directly. These shells also have air burst function, as they would be used in space where they could have not hit anything directly. The cannons are a lot thicker than their caliber because they have an external water jacket. It is said that these cannons have the same rate of fire as Zaku machine guns. Guncannon's beam rifle is another hidden gem. The Federation manages to invent ECAP technology first, allowing them to deploy beam weapons alongside with their mobile suits, despite otherwise not having enough power output to make them practical. While RX-78's beam rifle is said to be as powerful as Mega Beam Cannon on battleships, Guncannon's beam rifle is the long-range version of it, expected to have 3 times the effective range. Guncannon is also red after all. The tube above the barrel is usually installed with a telescopic sight to utilize the extended range of fire, but it could be fitted with a grenade launcher instead, usually loaded with napalm for short-range engagement. In fact, Guncannon's optic sensors are more than enough for most battlefield conditions that grenade launchers are more common. Guncannon's head is also very influential for Federation mobile suits. If you have not noticed already, armed with a pair of Vulcan on the forehead with a visor-type optical sensor module and a face mask that house multi-spectrum transceivers. Do note that under the visor, Guncannon has 2 main optics for binocular vision that RX-78 Gundam would follow. The visor will be adopted by GM and the Vulcans would become standard weapon in practical all Federation mobile suit ever since. While Guncannon have no dedicated melee weapon to speak of, but with generator as powerful and armor as tough as the Gundam, Guncannon outmatch most Xeon mobile suit in grapple range, if they ever come close enough in the first place. The most notable RX-77-2 Guncannon are piloted by Kai Shiden and Hayato Kobayashi, on board of the white base with RX-78-2 Gundam and armor array. While both Guncannons made it through most of the One-Year War, they were destroyed in Abaku, with both pilots saved by Guncannon's exceptional armor. There are also other variants of Guncannons used by the Federation, and many successors afterward. In fact, the GM cannon's designation prefix, RGC, is noting that they are modeled after Guncannon instead of Gundam. Even decades later, with Formula Project, the 7 series is reserved for the cannon type, following the 77 of Guncannon. Thanks for watching.